Yo, what is good, guys? Your boy JD back with another One Piece video. This time we will be discussing what I see Sanji at the End of Wano. Now, before we begin this video, be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check it out. Without further ado, let's begin. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to talk about the current capabilities of Sanji, what we have seen. So let's start with Sanji versus Virgo. Okay, in this fight, Sanji's leg got cracked. People say, oh goddamn, Sanji's gotta take the L. The way I saw it was that since Nami was in his body, she took damage while Nami was in his body, and Sanji noted that he took in more damage than he thought. But even then, I would still say that he would beat Virgo in a high diff fight. That's my stance on that. Now we get into Sanji versus Doflamingo, and let's be real, he was no match for Doflamingo. He like low diffed him. The thing is that with Doflamingo, granted, I will admit that if Sanji knew his Devil Fruit, it would have been different. I think he would have been able to do it much better, but he still will be overwhelmed. Like, he would still be overwhelmed. Like, that's the way I see it. In Whole Cake Island, though, he had some interesting feats, such as speed blitzing oven like that. Like, ooh. And being able to do that without, like, no one seeing where he's going, that was phenomenal. And then the last thing is, this happened in the anime, but what he did was that he just hit Daifuku so hard, that it was just like, the sound effect was just brilliant. It was insane. Another impressive feat he has done is that he was able to dodge Kaku's attack, even though Kaku saw into the future. Granted, Sanji also used observation haki since he's a specialist, but you get the point. I want to stake that as well, which is amazing. But from everything we have seen, I would actually put him in extreme low tier Admiral level, aka 4th Division Commander level, where he will give Vista and Snacks a high diff fight. Now we're going to Wano, where we bring in the Raid Suit Sanji. This thing just gave him such a huge buff, and I would say he low diff. Now no, actually no. Let's take it this far. I would say he low to mid diff, like low high diff, page 1. Granted, page 1 was fine after the whole situation, but he did so much damage to page 1, like it was crazy. And with the raid suit, I would say that Sanji is actually in super low tier Admiral level, aka 3rd Division Commander level, where he'll be able to give Ace, Cracker, and Jack a high diff fight. Now it's time to talk about what I think the future fights could be at the End of Wano, what Sanji might do. So first, obviously, is the page 1 rematch. I think this will be a great fight, just to have him like really test out the full capabilities of the raid suit and really just establish what his new power is now. I think that's definitely one of the fights that needs to happen. And of course, the main event match himself is Sanji versus Queen. Now for Sanji, I think without question, bare minimum, he needs to be at 3rd Division Commander level to take on someone like Queen. And just like how with Zoro and Luffy, they would have to go through such a huge learning curve, and they will get stronger throughout the fight. Now, if it doesn't happen with Sanji versus Queen 1-on-1, what would be interesting is that, I think I stated this in my Zoro video, where it was like Zoro and Killer versus King. But I think it would be interesting because King also has Heat and Wire, who I think is his other top guys. Whoever is the 3rd strongest of that group, maybe we might get some interaction between Sanji and them, and maybe they'll help each other to work together and they'll fight Queen. You know, try to build up that situation, because if the Kick Pirates and the Straw Hat Pirates are gonna clash eventually, I think this is a necessity. Like at least just to set the stage, in my opinion. But that's my stance on Sanji vs. Queen. He goes to take him on solo and just go stronger, of course, but that's my stance. As for the samurai, Sanji really has no story emotional attachment to the samurai. It's just really against the beast pirates. So I don't think he's going to do anything really big with the samurai. Now, however, with the Big Mom pirates, that's a different story because Sanji does have history with them. so he could potentially clash with Big Mom's like top guys, like Daifuku would be an example. Maybe take on a commander here or there, but I think, who knows? Maybe he might even clash his Big Mom himself. Yo, that would be so funny. But yo, let's go. Sanji versus Big Mom, yo, let's do this. But that's my stance on that whole situation. It could happen, we don't know. Now, if the Marines do come in, and I want to play on the idea of what King of Lightning mentioned about how Sanji will do like some co-op mission to stop the Marines from interfering, and with the whole Stealth Black situation to giving them a hard time. Yo, if it's Sanji versus Kizaru, like just saying that up because we already got the self-resolve versus Fujito, come on, just do that. Oga, please, you have the opening, just showcase it, just set it up. Please, just set it up. Like they just got it. They just have to. And now, one of the last things that needs to be talked about is Blackbeard Pirates. If they show up, I don't know who's the third strongest of their crew, but at least I feel like there should be like some interaction between Sanji and the third strongest. I was thinking Master Shot because during the whole Marineford War, when they show who is going to fight who, potentially, because we don't know if it's confirmed, between Red Hair and Blackbeard, Vasco Shot was sold for Lucky Woo, even though Lucky Woo was the third strongest. So that's just like my thought, but I don't really know in all honesty. As for potential growth of this arc, I feel like we need to see like an upgrade version of the Vague Suit because Frankie looks like they're working on it, so we're probably going to see some new stuff with it. And maybe he could combine his Diablo Jambe techniques with the Vague Suit, because back when he fought Page 1, the reason why he didn't do that was so he didn't blow his cover. So that's the way I see it on that stance, but that's definitely one thing for sure. I also think hockey-wise, he could probably learn advanced armor and hockey deflection. Maybe Ryo. I wouldn't be surprised if he learned Ryo, but it could happen. Because Queen, it really depends what Queen has, in all honesty. Like, if Queen has Ryo, then Sanji, I would say, has to at least learn Ryo. Like, that's my stance. Because advanced armament hockey, the way I view it, it makes such a huge difference in a fight that, like, it's like it has to be known. It just has to be known. Next up, of course, we got the Sugo Future Sight. Now, I think Sanji is going to learn Sugo Future Sight, which is the future sight that Luffy kind of learned. It might be during the Katakuri fight, but it might be a bit different compared to how things go. But I do want to say that since Sanji is an observation hockey specialist, we might get some really nice Sugo Future Sight action going on. But that's the way I see it on that set. And of course, we need higher strong level Diablo Jambes. Come on. We really need that. Like, that needs to be shown. And we might also see that with like his flashback with Ivankov doing that time skip train thing. Because we haven't seen any of that yet. So that would be interesting to play off. In the end though, I would say that his power level by the end of the arc is going to be low tier ammo level, where he'll be able to give Jozu, Lucky Woo, Queen, and Smoothie. Lucky Woo's an exception because he's a wild card. But those guys are high diff fight. And when he's at this level, I would say you'll be able to tango with Agmos and right hands, but will ultimately be defeated. And when I mean defeated, I mean like a mid-diff, where he'll be able to do some solid damage against them, but he will ultimately be defeated. As for his bounty, he originally had a 330 million bounty, but considering Queen's bounty, that is 1,320,000,000, I would say that Sanji's bounty is going to jump to 1,500,000,000. Now, if it is a 2v1 fight, then obviously I would say it's going to be a bit lower, but if it's just 1v1, then this is why I see it. Because, come on, he fought Queen, one-on-one. If that happens, there we go. Alright guys, and that's where I like to end this video off here. So, this is all my thoughts for where I see Sanji at the End of Wano in terms of combat capabilities. I just didn't mention better character here or there, but really just combat capabilities. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that like button, it really helps me out. Comment down below for where you see Sanji at the End of Wano. Subscribe for more future content. Hit that bell icon notification to be notified for future stuff. And also, one more thing I forgot to add is that I know this is during the chapter 980 came out during the time of this recording. I know there's a lot of pool situation. We'll get to all those guys later, alright? We'll get to all those guys later. But yes, without further ado, stay cool, guys. Stay cool.